Hello. Share to link to the other so that other can join easily. This is the first lecture. This is the first lecture. Everyone must write his or her roll number so that I can recognize everyone and attendance can mark easily. I am here to just present the third unit. Unit third, the first topic is limitation of microwave. Limitation of microwave tubes at limitation of conventional. This is the entire syllabus of macro tubes. The first topic is limitation of conventional active device at wave frequency. Second, two cavity clustron. Third, back clustron, magnetron, traveling wave tube, vacuum oscillator, and gyro devices. Semester. You must have a very good net connection so that you can just view my you can view my PPT also as well as audio. If you are unable to view the audio, show that if you are unable to view the audio, just wait for the few minutes. I am trying to solve the problems. If it is still unresolved, then moves to the PPT. Just listen the PPT. I have also shared all the things on Google Classroom. You just go through the Google Classroom. You can go through the Google Classroom where I, Prasanna sir, and other faculties also uploaded the videos as well as the notes. You can also view the assignment there so that you can go through the assignment and solve each and every questions. I'm here to present only the first topics, that's the limitation of conventional active devices at microwave frequency. Conventional active frequency. This is the conventional tube. Conventional tubes. What are the conventional tubes? The conventional tubes are triode, tetrodes, pentodes. These are triode, tetrodes, pentodes. These are the example of conventional tubes. if anyone asks what is the conventional tubes, then you can say that it is a triode, tetrode, and pentode. Then what are the problems so that we are unable to use this conventional tube at microwave frequency above than 1 gigahertz? Let's see. Before moving to the vacuum tubes, first we know about what is the vacuum tube. Vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes are the electronic devices in which electron flow through vacuums. Electron flow through vacuum from one electrode to another electrode. One electrode to another electrode. Generally speaking, vacuum tubes contains one cathode, one anode, one cathode, one anode, and one or more electrodes called grids. Always remember, here we will take the example of triodes. Always you see the three teams: cathode, anode. In tetrode, there are the four electrode. One is cathode, one is anode, and other two are the grids. But in the triode, one is cathode, another is anode, and third one is grid. Third one is grid. These grids are used for controlling actions. If anyone asks what is the function of grid, then you can easily say that these grids are used for controlling actions. Understand? Since vacuum tubes are voltage control devices, always remember vacuum tubes are voltage control devices. The vacuum tubes can be operated at very high voltage and these can generate high power. Always remember from these PPT, you can understand first what is the vacuum tubes and what are the example of vacuum tubes. And here the electron flow through vacuum contain a cathode and anode, one or more electrodes. Voltage control, it is a voltage control devices. Always remember it is a voltage control devices. And it can produce a high power useful below macro frequency, but above than 1 gigahertz, what happened? We will see the next PPT. The first is the here is the heading. In the second PPT, the heading is high frequency limitation of conventional tubes. High frequency limitation of conventional tubes. The first heading, the first topic is stray reactance. Before, you can see that conventional tubes fails at operate above 1 gigahertz due to the following reason. This is the most important question in the exam. Most of the time, the AKTU have asked, write down the limitation of conventional tubes. Yeah, conventional tubes at microwave frequency or higher frequency. Only you need to write these six points so that your points is covers easily. The first is strict reactance. In stray reactance, there are the two parts. One is inter-electrode capacitance and another is lead inductance. And third is transit time angle effect, GaN bandwidth product limitations, skin effect, radiation loss, dielectric loss. These are the 7 points. We will study one by one in the subsequent slides. The first here is inter-electrode capacitance. First here is inter-electrode capacitance. Now here you can see the triode. This is the triode where you can see the one is anode, one electrode is anode, one is cathode, one is grid. Here this is a picture of triodes, and here in between there is a capacitance. The first question is, where does a capacitance exist? The question is, where does a capacitance exist? a capacitance exists between two metal plates separated by a dielectric. A capacitance exists between two metal plates separated by a dielectrics. Here one is anode, another is cathode, third one is grid. In between, definitely there is a capacitance. You can see through the pictures. The mention is CGP, CPK, and CGK. It is the notations you can easily find out. Just take an example of vacuum tube triodes. Here you can see that this is a vacuum tube triodes. So in the triodes, there are three electrodes. One is grid, then plate, and another is cathode. You can say that plates is also anode is plate. These electrodes are separated by dielectric air. These electrodes are separated by dielectric air, which has dielectric constant 1. It is separated by dielectric air, which has an electric constant of 1. So there must exist capacitance between the electrode of the triode. There must be exist. You can see that here is CGP, here is CPK, here is CGK. So these capacitance are known as inter-electrode capacitance. These capacitance are also known as inter-electrode capacitance. Generally, the capacitance of the two plates. Generally, the capacitance of the two plates separated by a distance is given by here. C is equal to epsilon A by D, where epsilon is the dielectric constant of the material, A is the area of the plate, D is the distance between the plates, and the capacitive reactance is given Xc by 1 by 2 pi Fc. What you have just find from this portion, here is Xc inversely proportional to frequency. As frequency increases, Xc decreases. As frequency increases, Xc decreases. What does it mean? What does it mean? As frequency increases, the capacitance decreases. At microwave frequency, when frequency greater than 1 gigahertz, the capacitive reactance can be approximated by a short circuit. It increasing at a certain times. It become a short circuit. It become a short circuit. So whatever the input is given to the grid, whatever the input is given to the grid is directly transferred to the anode without any amplifications. What is our target? Target to amplify, to increase the gain. Gain is output upon input. If the gain output upon input is both are equal, then gain must be equal to 1. But always for the gain is always greater than 1. So increasing it, V out is greater than V in. Yeah, power out is greater than power in. You can say is like this: amplifications always desirable here. But if the short circuit is here, whatever the input is given to the grid is directly transferred to the output, that is the plate here, grid to plate. So there is a no amplification. So no amplifications. So gain of this divider will decrease. So inter-electrode capacitance always play a major role. And what is not, why it is not as inter-electrode? There is a three electrodes you can see here, where it is in between the grid and anode and cathode and grid. These are known as the inter-electrode capacitance. Always remember, inter-electrode capacitance. Now the next point is lead inductance. The second point is, hope you are clear about the first topic, inter-electrode capacitance. The second is lead inductance. The lead inductance. Now again the same questions. Where does an inductance exist? Where does an inductance exist? An inductance exists for the conducting wire. For a conducting wire, here you can see these three are the electrodes that are conducting wires. For example, for this triode, there are three electrodes. Three electrodes always you can see here. So there are three inductance. You can see here. Here is the L grid, L plate, and L cathode. LP, LG, and LK. Now in general, the inductance of a conductive wire is given by L is equal to L upon mu into A, where L is the length of the conducting wire, mu is the permeability of the materials, A is the cross section area. A is the cross section area of the conducting wire. And the inductive reactance XL is given by 2 pi F into L. That means XL is directly proportional to the frequency. In the previous case, you can see that X is inversely proportional to frequency. As frequency increases, X decreases, and it after a certain time it become a short circuit. So there is a no amplification, gain decreases. But here in the case, as frequency increases, XL also increases. As frequency increases, inductive reactance increases, and at microwave frequency, inductive reactance is very, very high. And because of this high impedance, there will be impedance matching problem at the input port. Here, the problem is impedance matching at input port as well as output port. So because of this impedance mismatching, there will be reflection. In the previous case, there is a short circuit. Here is a mismatching. Always remember, in the if you write the answer in the questions in exam, so that times you must find out what is the minimum point you should write so that you can gain a good marks. The first point must you write in the case of the inter-electrode capacitance, there is a short circuit. In lead inductance, there is a mismatching, impedance mismatching. There is a reflections. So due to the reflections from the input port and output port, and because of these reflections, whatever input we give to the electrode device triode, whatever input is given to the device triode, the small fraction of the input will reach to the terminal for amplification. Only the small fraction. Most of the reflected back. Hence, device of the gain of the device decreases. So, what we have learned in the previous case, in inter-electrode, the short circuit, due to the short circuit, whatever the input is given to the grid directly applied to the anode, that means the plate, without any amplification. But in this case, if you increase, at the time, at a certain times, there is impedance mismatching, a reflection started. At reflection started, the small fraction of the input is given to the output. So gain also reduced. So both the case, the gain is reduced. Lead inductance and lead capacitance are combined together, also play an important role. Combined together from the parasitic oscillation, parasitic capacitance, parasitic oscillations, combined together form the resonant circuit, and it start oscillations, also hamper the performance of device. Both of them alone or combined together always decrease the performance of the device. But the device has triode, tetrode, pentodes, the conventional tubes. Hope you have understand these two. Those who have joined later, just write the roll number so that I can recognize. And those who are unable to listen the audio, just go through the PPT, and I have also uploaded the lecture notes on Google Classroom. Here I have also sent the link of zoom.us. AKTU have suggested you can use the zoom.us if you are facing problem through Impartus. Yesterday, some of the faculty have tried to contact with the student through Impartus. They have faced the problems, but now from 2 days onward, the college have said that you must take one lectures. Today I am taking these lectures. Alternate day, Monday at microwave. Timing is 11 o'clock. Prasanna sir will take the class. The next topic will be reflection. But here is two topics I have covered only. The next topic is transit time effects. The important topic is transit time effect. transit time or angle effect. This is the important point. Hello. Here is the transit time angle effect. Now the question here is, what is transit time? The question is, what is transit time and how it play an important role at microwave frequency? You must learn. This is the topic. What is transit time? The transit time of an electron is the time taken by an electron. Is the time taken by the electron to travel from your cathode to anode. It is a transit time. Transit time. Here is the mention. So always remember it is a time. So time taken by the electron. Time taken by the electron from reaching from the cathode to anode. Always reaching from cathode to anode. Now, it is important to note that no signal can travel with infinite velocity. No signal can travel with infinite velocity. That is, if a voltage or current changes at some location, voltage or current changes at some location, its effect cannot be felt instantaneously at some other locations. Let's say if there is a one point up to a certain distance, let's suppose a 1 millimeters or 2 millimeters, at a stunt you are unable to list them same thing. There is a finite delay between the cause and the effect. This is called the transit time effect. This is called the transit time effect. For here the triode, here the transit time tau is equal to, tau is always time. Time is equal to distance upon velocity. D is the distance between the cathode and cathode to anode, and V naught is the average electron velocity. V naught is the average electron velocity, and the average electron velocity is always proportional to the applied voltage. Then how it is proportional to applied voltage? The energy, the kinetic energy is half m dot V naught square. V naught is the electron velocity, average electron velocity. M is the mass of the electron, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Okay, then portion here is equal to EB, E dot V, EB. EV is equal to half mb naught square. So you can just find out here V naught is directly proportional to the square root of this portions of the applied voltage. So you can change the electron velocity by applying the voltage. So it is a volt in a first. I have just discussed about this. This is the voltage control device. Here you can see this. By changing the voltage, and lower side you can see the Vs. It is sinusoidal. The time period is T here. Ankush, which topic? Transit time. Okay. If transit time, It is a time. This time is mentioned here. Time is always equal to d upon distance upon velocity. Here is the distance from the cathode to anode. Distance from cathode to anode. We know is the electron velocity. A point is that no signal can travel with infinite velocity. Always, no signal can travel with infinite velocity. If a voltage or current changes at some locations, their effect, if you generate something at a certain point, but you are unable to listen the same thing at another point instantaneously, you can listen after a few seconds, few millisecond, microsecond, you can say, but after some time, some durations, that duration is known as transit time. That duration is known as transit time. So at lower frequency, its effect is negligible, but at higher frequency, as t is proportional to distance, distance is very, very less. If the something is generated at the point P and another is generated at P2 point, P1, P2, and P1, the distance between P1 P2 is very, very less, that time it play a major role. And how it play major role, I will just discuss later. Ankush, now is clear? Okay, move on the next point. Point here is transit time. Here also mention the transit angle, that is equal to omega into tau, and tau is it d upon v naught. You can say that if the input voltage given to the wire, either input voltage here is Vs applying to the grid. This T is the time period. T is the time period of the input signal. If input voltage of the device changes, if the input device changes from positive, the portion is going like this. So for positive voltage, the electron will get potential energy. The electron gets potential energy from cathode to anode and then starts moving from cathode to anode. In a positive half cycle, it's gain energy, it's gain potential energy and moves toward anode from cathode to anode. But as voltage changes from positive to negative, in this portion, positive to negative, the electron will be attracted towards the cathode. The electron will be attracted towards the cathode. In the positive half cycle, it start moving from here to here, but in the opposite cycle, at the negative cycle, it start attracting towards the cathode again. Now see the now at the lower frequency, where the time period t is very, very large than the transit time of the electron, and transit time is from the electron time taken from cathode to anode. Here t is very, very large. In positive half cycle, it's gain energy and moving toward the anodes. Or here there is no problem because the time period is very, very large, so it can easily reach to the anode. But when the frequencies increases, that means the time period reduces. At time period reduces, here is the time period, it reduces like this. Here time period is very, very less in comparison to the transit time. Then what happens at the times in a positive half cycle? If positive half cycle is start moving, it's moving and it switch to the end. But here the time period is 1 to 100 times of the 100 times of the one transit time. But for the higher frequency, the time period of the input signal is very, very less than the electron transit time. That means the input changes. That means input changes 10 to 100 times in one transit time. Let's suppose if the transit time is 1 nanosecond. Let's suppose if the transit time is 1 nanoseconds and transit time is 1 nanosecond and time period is 1 picosecond. If the transit time is 1 picosecond, over here is less, transit time here the time period is less, then the here is time period is less, then the transit time, then in 1 nanosecond you must read from cathode to anode, but in picoseconds it changes. In picosecond it changes from positive to negative. Then those electrons will start moving towards the anode. Now it start attracting towards the cathode. Here you can see the red cycle. It start moving in the positive half cycle, but it must reach to the anode. But here is the transit time. Transit time is less. Transit time is greater than the time period. Time period is less here. So it before reaching to the transit times, it changes from cycle positive to negative. Then it start moving towards the cathode, and is the cycle like this. And this is the cycle like this. Now again positive half cycle comes, an electron will move towards the anode, and then again negative half cycle. So like this process going on, and because of this process electron may oscillate back and forth like this or return back to the cathode. To minimize this effect, the distance between the electrodes should be reduced and high voltage should be applied. This is the complete just a transit and time angle effect. This creates problems. How it creates problems, you have just understand it. This is the third point. It's an important point also. And transit angle is depend upon the depend on the transit time. Transit angle is not negligible at microwave frequency because it depend on transit time, and transit time further depend on the length between anode and cathode and applied voltage. So you have learned that at higher frequency transit time play an important role. Transit time play an important role, and if you just going to use the microwave tubes, conventional tubes at microwave frequency, you must taken care of the transit time. Now the third next point is another limitations. Another limitation is gain bandwidth product limitations. This is the gain bandwidth product limitations. At microwave frequency, the conventional tubes start resonating. At microwave frequency, the conventional tubes start resonating, and for a resonant circuit, always remember, as a resonant circuit, the gain bandwidth product is constant. Gain bandwidth product is constant. So as to achieve higher gains, we should compromise for bandwidth. So to achieve higher gains, we should compromise for bandwidth. This limitation of conventional tubes can be overcome by microwave tubes by using reintermittent cavity or the shallow wave structure. You can see in the clustron and TWT where how this problem is reduced. So always, if you increase the gain, desirable is to increase the gain. That means to increase the output in comparison to the input for the amplifications, and so, then we need to compromise with the bandwidth. Here's a problem. If you compromise, then you can unable to send the more signal. So if you balance both the terms, it is unable to unable hearing in the frequency of the conventional tubes. So problem is, if you increase the bandwidth, then we need to compromise with the gain. Either one of them we need to compromise. So why we need to compromise? We already have a microwave tubes, so why not we switch to microwave tubes at higher frequency? This is the terms we will learn in the next class. The another limitation is skin depth. As here you can see that skin depth is inversely proportional to the frequency. As frequency increases, skin depth decreases. That means the at microwave frequency, this skin depth is very small. So we can say that at microwave frequency, most of the current flow through the surface. Most of the current flow through the surface, or effective area for the current flow decreases. Here the effective area of the current decreases. Here area is decreases. Then resistance is increases. Then losses increases here. So it creates problems also. Here effective area has been reduced by skin depth, hence the resistance of that conductor will increase. Hence the resistance of the conductor will increase, and because of this increased resistance, there will be more conductor loss at microwave frequency. More conductor load at microwave frequency. Radiation loss. At microwave frequency, electrode pins of the vacuum tubes start radiating. At microwave frequency, electrode pins of the vacuum tubes start radiating. So because of this radiations, there will be radiation loss. And dielectric losses, the last is dielectric losses. Since as frequency increases, the loss tangent for dielectric material increases, loss tangent increases. So there will be more dielectric losses at microwave frequency. This is the complete today's lecture's topic. Here I have covered limitation of microwave tubes, limitation of conventional tube, not the microwave tube. Limitation of conventional tube such as tetrode, pentode, triode at microwave frequency, and the limitations as we have discussed about this. The first problem is stray reactance. In stray reactance, there are the two parts. First is stray capacitance and stray capacitance. Another is inductance, interelectrode capacitance, lead inductance. So third is transit time effect. Those who have joined later, just I've finished the first topic. I'm revising it for your convenience. The topic name is here: limitation of microwave tubes, conventional tubes at microwave frequency. Here is the at above than 1 gigahertz, it fails to operate. It fails to operate because of the following reason. The reason is interelectrode capacitance. Interelectrode capacitance, as we have seen, just a recap. Interelectrode capacitance. Here you see, here is a triode. That means that 3 electrode must be there. One is anode, one is cathode, one is grid. These 3. In between, there is a capacitance exist. Capacitance is always the in between the metal plates. Here is the metal plates, those 3. So always the capacitance exists. Capacitance is C is equal to epsilon A by D, and X is equal to 1 pi 2 pi FC. D is a distance between the anode and cathode. Is a cross section area. Like C is equal to 1 by 2 pi F into C. C is here C. Here F. If you increase the frequency, Xc will decrease. At microwave frequency, Xc will as a short circuit. It behave as a short circuit. Here is the proportions. If you apply voltage at the grid, it directly reaches to the anode. Here is the input. Here is the output. You applied the voltage at the input. If as it is reached to the output, then there is no amplifications. There is no amplifications. If there is no amplifications, then the gain is always 1. So there is no gain is, and further if it gain decreases, where there is no increment there, na. So the first problem is interelectrode capacitance. Another is lead inductance. In lead inductance, XL is proportional to F. At higher frequency, XL increases and it creates a impedance mismatch. There is a reflection in impedance mismatch. There is a reflections and reflections, then it decreases the performance. This is the lead inductance. And third portion is transit time angle effects. As discussed about the transit time, distance between the cathode to anode, time taken by the cathode to anode. At lower frequency, the transit time is very small in comparison to this time period. So there is no problem. In positive half cycle, it's gain the potential energy and moves towards the anode. But in the negative half cycle, that means if positive to negative changes from positive to negative, it again attracts towards the cathode. Then in this in the lower frequency, there is no problem because it's sufficient time to have electrons to reach to the anode. But the higher frequency, this time period is very less, and it changes at a very fast. It changes from positive to negative is very fast in comparison to the transit time. Let's suppose the transit time have a 1 nanoseconds and the time period is 1 picoseconds. If you for reaching a cathode to anode, we must have a 1 nanoseconds, but in a picosecond it changes. Its picosecond changes from positive to negative cycles. Then in negative cycle, it attracts toward the cathode. Then a red line shows in a positive cycle it start moving towards the anode, but it changes to the it attracts toward the cathode in negative half cycle. Here there is no sufficient time to reach to the anode because the transit time is very at higher frequency. 10 to it changes 10 to 100 times. Here is mentioned there. At higher frequency, there's a transit time play an important role, and we must consider the transit time and taken the picture so that it can play an important role. Third point, the other limitation, gain bandwidth product. At higher frequency, it behaves as a resonating circuit. In resonant circuit, the gain bandwidth product is always constant. If you increase the gain, we must compromise with the bandwidth. Here skin depth, so we must increase the here just gain bandwidth product. Skin depth, here it is proportional to frequency. As frequency increases, decreases, that means effective area decreases. If effective area decreases, then radiation resistance increases. Resistance increases, that means conductor losses. More conductor loss, radiation. Electrode pin start radiating at microwave frequency, dielectric and more at microwave frequency. These are the points. Hope you have understand this. Now you all, those who are here, those are not joined here, so just pass this message. Live lectures is going on regular basis. There is a timetable circulated to all the faculty members. You must attend the lectures, and the 10 to the timetable control is mentioned from 10 to 11. Always mention 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is control timing, or 11 to 12. Always you remember 11 to 12. 11 to 12 timing is microwave. Monday to Friday, 10 to 11 time is control, 11 to 12 timing is microwave, and 12 to 1 is decom. 12 to 1 time is decom. This is the three, and note, you must note down 10 to 11 control, 11 to 12 microwave, 12 to 1 DCOM, and 2 to 3 industrial electronics oblique microcontroller oblique Verilog, whatever class is there. 3 to 4 cyber security, and 4 to 5 industrial management. I'm just going to repeat it again. 10 to 11 control engineering, control system. 11 to 12 microwave. 12 to 1 DCOM. 2 to 3 industrial electronics microcontroller Verilog. 3 to 4 cyber security. 4 to 5 industrial management. This is your timetable. This is the timetable of entire third year. Today, in 11 to 12 time, I have taken the first topic of unit third, and the next topic, the cholesterol and reflex cholesterol, will be taken by the Prasanna sir on the subsequent 2 classes, Monday and Tuesday. And the next 2 days, Shilpi ma'am will engage about this, and further Sarabjit ma'am also take the other rest of the portions. So whatever the problem is there, you just post to the concerning faculty, and always just look to the group message. Whatever the message is just sent by your concerning teachers, follow this. In this the difficult time, we must learn from the online and have made a good PPT. All the faculty have made a good PPT for your reference, and I'm just going to tell you the 2 to 3 points. First, you must follow the Google Classroom. You have all the faculty have sent a link to your mail about the Google Classroom. Those who have not receiving the message of Google Classroom, just I request to those who have received this, pass to this message to other, and always there is a code mention. If you are trying to join through the link, maybe it asks to the code, put the code. You can ask the code to the concerning faculty. You can directly message to the concerning faculty, sir, I'm unable to join with the Google Classroom. It asking about the code, sir, what is the code? So you can ask directly to the faculty will share it. And some of faculty member also sent to the group. And after joining the Google Classroom, you can view the notes, assignments, and sometimes the video lectures and link to the video lectures. So don't go here and there. First, follow the Google Classroom. Second, here is the imparters. Those who does not receive the imparters, after starting these lectures, I have sent one of the link also from the zoom.us. In these classes is also subsequently going on both the imparters as well as Zooms, but Zooms only for the 40 minutes and 100 people can attend. Those who have 100, because imparters here I have checked, but those who have a very good connection of net, they have listening the audios also, also the PPT, and after 6 to 7 hours, the video will be available for you as well. Now you can listen as many of the times as you are required. And always just solve the question. The first question from this point is, what are the limitation of conventional tube at microwave frequency? Elaborate it. You can see this question in the assignment third, and the last date of assignment third is 31st, but just only you can solve it. You solve it properly and make a proper notes. Every faculty have shared all the notes of third units. Mostly have shared it. Go through this, study about this. AKTU have said just message this. We are unable to move any type of things. You must go through with the online classes. Classes must be continue. Either you can just write your answer in the another copy or another sheet, but you must preserve this seat. Whenever the class will reopen, when college will reopen, I will see all the assignments copies of everyone. You also have a separate notes. Whatever notes is sent by the faculty, you must have a snapshot of the. You have also the quick points, because you have already have notes. So you have made a self quick point so that you can learn what you have learned from these videos. You always mention the 2 to 3 points and just also solve it. Hope you have just learned it. Okay, good for you. Those who have joined just now, Yatharth and Rishabh Tripathi, go through this video. After 6 to 7 hours, it will be available as said by the college management. Let's see what happen. If you are unable to view, you can go through the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is the best thing where most of the faculty have uploaded their all the talks, and go through this and always touch with the faculty. Whatever the message is there from the AKTU and other things will pass you. Attendance is there. You have just those who have attended here is recorded. After 5 to 6 hours, this video will be available also. So don't worry, attendance I'm going to just collect it from here and pass to the college management. So daily on the basis, you must have made your point here, and also do not mention your anything from here to there. Mention only your problem as well as your roll number. Hope you understand. Great day. Thank you joining for all us. Thanks. And Monday you will see the reflex cluster on other portions with Prasanna sir. आशीष, कोई बात नहीं, लास्ट में ज्वाइन किया हम देखते हैं कितने इन्होंने लास्ट में क्या ज्वाइन किया, सब कुछ रिकॉर्ड हुआ है यहाँ पर, तो परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं है. अटेंडेंस का हम देख लेंगे, और ये जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स है, जो उसने अटेंड किया है अच्छी बात है, जिसने नहीं किया है आई इंकरेज ऑल ऑफ देम टू मस्ट अटेंड द लाइव क्लासेस. इसके बाद भी कोई डाउट होते हैं तो आप पोस्ट कर सकते हैं गूगल क्लासरूम में या व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे. कभी क्वेश्चंस या क्वेश्चन अपने लिख के आप भेजिए किसी फैकल्टीज हुए, सर आई एम फेसिंग दिस डाउट्स. एंड साथ में यदि जैसे कंट्रोल हुआ, न्यूमेरिकल्स प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, आप उनमें सॉल्व करिए और वो सर को भेजिए, सर आई एम फेसिंग द प्रॉब्लम थ्रू गूगल क्लासरूम. गूगल क्लासरूम पे क्या होता है कि आप जो भेजोगे ना, दूसरा भी देखता है वहां पर ना, जो फैकल्टी उसमें साथ में है वो फैकल्टी भी देख रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट भी देख रहे हैं आपको प्रॉब्लम कहाँ हो रही है. आप डिस्कशन फोरम में वहां पर हैं गूगल क्लासरूम में, तो गूगल क्लासरूम फॉलो कीजिए. और हम लोग अभी ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि AKTU ने जूम को भी फॉलो किया, लेकिन जूम पे 100 ऐड हो सकते हैं, देखते हैं क्या. ठीक है आशीष, आशीष और दिव्यांशु, सुमित, प्रज्वल लगता है बाद में आया है, सुमित 1 2 3 लगता है बाद में ज्वाइन किया है. कोई बात नहीं, सभी अपना पढ़ाई कीजिए अच्छे से, और जो भी डाउट्स होंगे वो पोस्ट करते रहिए. ओके, थैंक यू, हैव अ गुड डे.